telling y'all stuff to help y'all be liberated, and y'all getting on me. It was just I couldn't make sense of it. And some people just aren't comfortable around these higher frequencies. It feels uncomfortable. And especially when you detach from things and you're not emotionally detached as you used to be, yes, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. And people may even start to feel a way about you changing. And this is all programming. So genetic trauma refers to the emotional and psychological impact of traumatic events experienced by our ancestors imprinted on our cellular structure. These experiences can be passed down through generations, subtly influencing our behaviors, our beliefs, and even our physical health. And this is called epigenetics. Breaking free from these trauma bonds can be challenging, but it is possible with time, support, and self-care. Many wounds are carrying the imprints and the trauma from men which have been exposed to be embedded in the brain of any sexually active woman. This etheric cord or soul tie, listen to the word soul tie, causes more trauma within the unconsciousness. Remember, beneath the surface of the oceans, they found all of this other pollution down there. Cord cutting alone usually does not solve these issues because they are transgenerational. It's time to face the facts head on and accept your feelings without judgment. I'm going to share some ways to loosen these attachments in your mind over time. And again, I'm going to post those articles for you on Patreon. So let me get to these articles before they be just gone. Okay. Now, this article actually was posted by somebody else, but now Forbes magazine has posted this article. So I want y'all to see this. Let me share my screen. Okay. So as you can see, according to New Scientists, semen has controlling power over female genes and behavior. There's more to semen than sperm. The many animals' seminal fluid alters both the bodies and sometimes even the behavior of females. Human semen, too, triggers changes in the uterus and might have wider effects on women aimed at just one goal. It's all about maximizing the chances of the male reproducing, says Sarah Robertson of the University of Adelaide in Australia. The effects are most striking in fruit flies. Seminal fluid can make the females eat more, lay more eggs, and be less receptive to other males. And remember, DNA of the fruit fly and humans are very similar. Now, a team led by Tracy Chapman at the University of East Anglia in Norwich, UK, has found that male fruit flies selectively alter the chemical makeup of their seminal fluid. In the presence of rivals, the males produce more seminal proteins. It came as a real surprise, says Chapman. It's a sophisticated response to the social and sexual situations. Some of their findings were presented at the Society for Molecular Biology and Evolution conference in Vienna, Austria last week, including their discovery that one of these proteins is a master regulator of genes. Females exposed to it show a wide range of changes in gene expression. Chapman thinks this kind of seminal signaling is widespread in the animal world. The semen of people, pigs, and mice affects the female reproductive tract. And the question is whether it can also produce behavior responses in female mammals similar to those seen in fruit flies. There have been claims that semen can do everything from making women sleepy after sex to strengthening the emotional bond with their partner. One 2002 study based on a survey of 300 students even found that women whose partners did not use condoms scored lower on a measure of depression. If that effect is real, depression in some people might be treatable with artificial semen suppositories. Gordon Gallup of the State University of New York at Albany, who carried out the study, says a PhD student of his has replicated the finding in a survey of 1,000 women, but the results were never published. I wonder why they weren't published. In flies, seminal proteins can directly affect behavior because they enter the circulatory system, traveling throughout the body to the brain. They rapidly get to many places in the female, Chapman says. From the female's perspective, seminal signaling is usually nothing sinister, according to Chapman. It's an efficient way of getting a female's body ready to produce offspring as soon as possible. It's not clear whether any components of human semen get into the bloodstream, but it could be possible, particularly for small molecules like hormones, says Robertson. She has shown that seminal fluid induces expression of a range of genes in the cervix, including ones that affect the immune system, ovulation, the receptivity of the uterus lining to an embryo, and even the growth of the embryo itself. As for seminal signaling, she thinks it's more likely to be indirect with semen causing the cervix to produce molecules that influence the rest of the body. Her team is studying the effect of 3 microRNAs, RNA fragments that affect gene expression, released by the cervix in response to semen. Whatever the mechanism, both Chapman and Robertson say it's plausible that semen could have effects on women well beyond their reproductive tract. Now, I already posted the research. I found that research with those 1,000 women, and I posted it on Patreon, and I discussed it during the WAP war that shows that this semen does embed in the brain, and it usually stays there for 50 years. That's a long time for your behavior to be connected to someone else's mental, emotional health. And as you can see by them introducing the vaccine, there's a lot that they can achieve here other than breaking down immune systems just to run up their tally of people whose lives they are taking. So, psychology today have proof that men's self-esteem is boosted by female pheromone. New research shows that sniffing copulins makes men feel more attractive. The saying goes that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but attraction is based on more than love at first sight. When we feel chemistry with another person, it may be thanks to one of our chemical senses, our sense of smell. For many animals, the primary method of negotiating hookups is by odor. When a female boar catches a whiff of a male's musk, she finds it an instant aphrodisiac, but humans also secrete pheromones. The general consensus among scientists is that although body odor can affect attractiveness, humans don't employ pheromones in the same way that other mammals or insects do. But recent evidence suggests that women do secrete a collection of chemicals that trigger various responses in men. These chemicals have been dubbed copulins because of their effects on sexual behavior. In our primate cousins, several fatty acids are found in vaginal secretions. The fatty acids, the copulins, are more concentrated when females are most fertile. Female